Alright, as we continue on the inView training, we're going to transition over to the recording side, which we're going to talk about the Guardian package. So the Guardian package is a package of DVRs and cameras. There are multiple ways you could configure this, so we're going to go step by step of the different options and what those configurations consist of. So let's start with the DVR. On the DVR, you have two options. You have the TH6 series and the TH4 series DVRs. The difference between these two, there are two major differences. One being the TH6 series DVRs. These guys, you could go up to 6 cameras and go up to 1080p in resolution. On the TH4 series, you have up to 4 cameras and it could go up to 720 resolution. So when it says up to, I just want to be clear, it means 1080 is the maximum resolution that the TH6 could go to. It could also use 720 cameras or any resolution below it. And these are dynamic DVRs, so they'll automatically adjust to the camera that's connected. I'll show you these two DVRs. So over here we have the TH4. In the front of them, they both are going to look practically the same. They're going to look exactly the same, actually. The difference is when you go to the rear. In the rear, you could see right in the back, you have 4 channels for cameras. And I'm going to grab the TH6 and you'll see it looks the same in the front as the TH4. But once you go to the rear, you have the 6 ports for cameras. And you have a lot of different ports for the different peripherals that we'll talk about as we continue. So after that, we're going to talk about storage. So standard storage on both of them is 500 gig hard drives. That's standard. And there are options to go to larger hard drives. You could go to 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes. We even have solid state drives, 1 terabyte and 2 terabytes when it comes to that. These guys look like so. So they're pretty much, a custom hard drive for these DVRs. They're keyed. So these guys only work on these DVRs. You put them in, lock it in with the key, and they're pretty secure. So they're designed specifically for the DVRs. These can't be off the shelf or any other type of hard drive. So we're going to talk about the different accessories that come with the Guardian DVRs. So standard features that come with every Guardian DVR is the GPS sensor, the G-force sensor, and the panic button or record button. So I'll show you these as we go along. So here is the GPS sensor, magnetic GPS sensor. So it'll apply to any steel. You got the G-force sensor, right? It'll tell you which direction to apply it in when you install it. And you also have the event recording button, which we'll talk a little bit more about this event recording button down the road. But this is for saving that information that's critical for in the DVR. Another accessory would be the docking station. So the docking station is not standard or whatever every DVR. Since the docking station, you only require one docking station to view a video or use the hard drive. So in the case where you have 5 vehicles that have DVRs in them, you don't require 5 docking stations. Once you have one docking station with the VMAX View software, you could remove these hard drives and get the information off of them. So I'm going to show you the docking station. So the docking station, again, this is specifically made for these hard drives to install. So they have the little ports where they go in, You USB connect it to your PC. You install the software, and you could view, edit, search all the media on these hard drives. So just to review, the GPS sensor, the G-force sensor, and the panic button or record button are standard. So that's gonna, regardless if you get the TH4 or the TH6, all those components are gonna come with the DVR. The default storage is 500 gig, and you could choose larger storage. And the docking station, you really only need one. If you have multiple vehicles, you don't need one per vehicle, so you could view the software, the media. So here's just an illustration of how things get connected. So you have your GPS sensor, your G-force sensor, they're all connected to the rear, and your record button with all your cameras. So we're going to talk about cameras. So cameras, there are two types of cameras in the Guardian package. The first one would be the dome camera. The dome camera is an interior camera. It has built-in audio. Built-in audio. It starts at 1080. You could get 1080 model or a 720 model. It's high definition, and this is interior only, not waterproof. So the next one would be the Wedge camera. This is for the exterior use, outdoor use. Obviously you could use it indoor, but is designed to be waterproof. And you could get these in 1080p, 720. It has built-in infrareds. So this is for, like we said before, for nighttime or low light viewing, to use the ambient light and try to give you as best contrast as possible when it is recording. One thing about the Wedge camera, it is a one-size-fits-all type of solution. If the installer is putting this camera on the roof of the apparatus, or if the installer is placing it on underneath in the cab of the apparatus, or if he is installing it on the skin or side of the apparatus, it is the same camera. This is the reason why this camera inside, and I'm going to show you inside this camera here, it allows you to set the position. It has a gimbal built into it, and also this camera rotates 360 degrees. So it has a local video out. So if you go ahead and connect the monitor to there, you could locally sit there with a monitor and adjust this to give you the exact view that you're looking for. So you don't necessarily have to have the entire system connected. As long as you got the video feed out and you're powering it up, you could adjust this and set it exactly how you want. So even if it's on an angle, or if it's upside down or right side up, you could use, it's the same camera that you use for all the applications. So the VMAX View software, or even some of the Commander stuff, the VMAX View software will allow you to view all this media, view the GPS location, all the flags. And we were talking about flags. What that means is, if when you're setting up your DVR, you could set it up to give you a flag or an event, something that occur, if you tell it to give you that flag. So if you say, I want to have an event anytime the apparatus is over 50 miles an hour. So anytime that event occurs, you could set a window that it will flag and record that specific space. Now, why is that important? When you talk about the DVRs and their media, so the top resolution 1080 is going to take up a lot of data. So just imagine if you had a DVR with 6 1080p cameras. That is a lot of data, and especially if you're operating that apparatus for a large amount of time during the day. So what you would typically do is, if that is a question, you would call in and you would talk through with the sales team what the configuration would be, and they would typically give you the duration before it starts re-recording itself. Like every DVR, these guys will fill up and begin deleting and re-recording on top of that data as to keep filming. So anything that's triggered will be saved. It will not be erased. So even though if it fills up and it starts rewriting, it will not erase that information that's flagged. So that G-force flag that you set, or that speed flag that you set, and that's where this event recording button is really important. So if any of those did not occur and there was an incident that the driver wanted to make sure it got saved for later viewing, if he hits the button, now it sets a flag for that particular moment in time, and it'll record prior and after that button was triggered, and that video will not be erased and it'll be stored there till whenever that flag gets taken down or that video gets removed for later viewing. So here's an image of the difference between a standard camera and how a high definition camera looks. This is zoomed in and you could even see the license plate number pretty clearly. So it's meant for event recording. You want that quality. So there's a balance between the quality that you choose and the media that you need. So these are a few highlights of the Guardian. Any other questions or anything else, definitely call in and we'll give you some more information. Thanks.